all the goodies. Hangers, nice, strong, good quality hangers. You got all the bits are here. You're guilty. It's funny how your mind goes in swings and roundabouts. Well, mine does anyway. And we've got the frame of the trailer 2100 wide, which is, you know, could be considered a pretty wide trailer. It's not close to the legal length at 2400 in South Australia, but it's pretty wide. It's not going to be that tall. I've just come back from a camping trip towing my boat. It was okay, but it was like, it uses a lot of fuel and it creates a lot of drag, and I'm sort of second guessing a little bit, going, have I made this too wide? Have I made this too big? Should I be going more for like a teardrop or a square drop trailer? And like everything, there's goods and bads. You know, it's harder towing, but it's more comfortable when you get to that campsite if that's what you're looking for. If you're hopping every day and going somewhere, maybe your teardrop's more appropriate. So I've undone and do I cut this one down and do I make it smaller? But I've got the axle ready to go. I've got everything else. So I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to keep building it and see how we go. And if it is too big, well, that's okay. I can make another one. You know, I'm learning a lot through this process, and that's fine. And so be it. I can sell it if someone's interested in buying it, and maybe get my money back on it. And if I get a little bit more, that's great. I can build another one. So I'm going to stay the course. But anyway. So I've got to find the placement of where I want the axle, and from there I can figure out where I want to put the suspension. Now I know that I don't want to have the wheel any closer than 50-50 for South Australian regulations and trailer safety. It needs to be a little bit further back. For the way I'm configuring this trailer, I'm going to do a 55-45 split, so we've got to figure that out. Here's how we do that. Right, the total length of the trailer is 3000 millimeters. I'm going to times that by 0.55, which gives me 1650 is the center part of the trailer. So I've got my eye-to-eye suspension, and what you can see now is that we're talking, it's all connected, no parts are slipping. Front hanger, rear hanger, and the nuts will actually be on the other side. So I need to get this middle right over that guy. And if I eyeball it at the moment, and hang that right over the center, you can see that my line is probably about 20 mil too far forward. So we need to bring this guy back a little bit. This angle to be slightly forward at the moment. And the reason why I want that is because when the weight of the trailer gets pushed down, this will go back a little bit, which is exactly where we want it to sit, past 90 degrees, so that when it's actually working, it's got space to move. So just slightly forward, and I'll measure exactly that distance and use the same on the other side. Woo! Good-o. 1162. 1162, you'll be guilty! We're going to tack this side in now. We know they're exactly millimetre perfect as far as distance goes. We've got the axle right where I want it, 55% of the way down the trailer from this front part here, and then we can throw on the A-frame. For the light to change, I'm seeing. So, I don't know a lot about welding. What I do know is that these need to be strong. And so I've got the right amperage. I'm going 3 mil to 4 mil, so I'm using 19.5 volts and 19.5 wire speed, which is what the recommendations are for that kind of thing. I'm trying to get a lot of heat into it and keep the heat going, and just doing little sort of continuous ease, if you like, to keep a lot of heat into the hanger and also get a lot of heat into the bar so that I can push that along. I've tacked each corner as well to make sure that when I weld one side it doesn't lean over or pull away from the other side, so it's nice and flat. So we'll keep going, see how we go. I'm trying to get comfortable so I can come along here, a little bit of a 10 thing, and just work my way along.
For the light to change, I'm seeing the sunrise behind me.
This might be hard for you to see, but what I'm trying to do is get exactly the middle of the frame, and so it goes to exactly the middle of the A-frame. So the very back here of the trailer, I've marked a little black line where the center of the trailer is, and I've got my fishing braid because I don't have any plumbing line, and a magnet holding that little bit of braid straight in the middle of the trailer. So then, up the other end here, I've got another line which is the middle of the trailer, and you can see that clearly I don't have this braid that goes to the middle of the A-frame in the middle of the front of the trailer. And so at the moment, if I was to weld that up, the middle of my drawbar would be pulling slightly to the side. So I need to push these across a little bit to try and get that exactly lined up where it needs to be, and then we'll be laughing. A little bit more tinkering around to get this exact, and to get this section exact, then we'll tack it into place, then we'll weld her up. Easy. Right, so she's all in the center here. If you run your eyes up there, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, we're looking very good there, and very good back here. So now we'll tack her in place. So what I'm doing in this clip is measuring from each side of the disc brake to the center of the trailer at the front there to make sure that they're exactly even. The measurement from memory was 33.75, and I wanted to make sure that they were completely straight and completely in the same, pointing exactly forward. And yeah, worked out a treat for me. This is where it's handy to know a few burly boys, so I called for a few mates, and just so happened they were both able to drop past pretty quickly, so they helped me flip the trailer over. There might be a better way to do this, but I'm just a DIYer, as I said, so they got behind me and helped just roll the trailer over. 4 people would have been helpful. It is bloody heavy because I've made it pretty thick steel so that I can drag it over thousands of k's of corrugations and not worry. Well, there's part 2 finished. Sort this out. Yuck. There's the frame with the A-frame. Basically the chassis is done. Obviously there's a few small things I need to do, like throw a tow hitch on there, which will be a poly block hitch, which I don't know if that's international, but in Australia it's like a poly block that you whack in there. It gives you more articulation. And join up the brakes. But there we have the frame of the camper that I'm making with the A-frame. That's a really exciting build so far. Thanks guys, I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, I'd like to reiterate that I'm not a professional, I'm just a DIYer and enjoy tinkering and making things. I hope you got something from the video. If I'm doing something wrong, feel free to send me a comment and let me know or how I can do it better. Cheers, bye.